Hello, everyone. Today, we are actually finishing Paul's pastoral letter to Titus. We're in chapter 3. Now, chapter 3 is really kind of trying to wrap everything up, but Paul still has kind of one last set of points that he wants to hit into, and I'm afraid they have some really strong application for us today. So let's just start off with chapter 3. We're in verses 1 and 2, where Paul writes this. Remind the believers to submit to the government and its officers. They should be obedient, always ready to do what is good. They must not slander anyone and must avoid quarreling. Instead, they should be gentle and show true humility to everyone. Now, Sarah pointed out a couple of days ago that there's a reason we still use the term Cretan. The Cretes were not the morally best people, and this was going to be reflected in their government. Paul is instructing Titus to then instruct the rest of the church in Crete to respect that authority, even though they may absolutely disagree with it. And so the whole point, he says, is to show gentleness and humility no matter what. Obey the laws, of course, so long as they're not asking you to violate what you believe is important to be a follower of Christ. But you can do that by being gentle and humble. He goes on to kind of remind his readers that, listen, you were once one of these folks. You were once wound around the axle just like them, but now that you have stepped away and are living in the freedom of Christ, this is now something that we should recognize as an opportunity to then share with others. Which brings us then to verse 9, when Paul goes after something else. He says, do not get involved in foolish discussions about spiritual pedigrees or in quarrels and fights about obedience to Jewish laws. These things are useless and a waste of time. Now, Paul is still actually talking about the same thing. You see, the Jewish rabbis that lived on the island of Crete would be kind of like the political pundits of today that happen to be on, let's just say, your side, whatever your side is. And so the temptation on the part of Christians was to listen to these Jewish rabbis as they complained about the Cretan authorities and how things were being run. And Paul is saying, don't listen to the pundits. Just do what is right. These things are useless and a waste of time. Don't get wound around them. Instead, go back to that original message of being gentle and humble, obedient with whatever the rules are for now. But most importantly, then he goes on to verse 14. Our people must learn to do good by meeting the urgent needs of others. Then they will not be unproductive. Paul's point here is that if we work within the existing system, but then focus on the things that God has always called us to focus on, the immediate needs of others, then that gets to be our witness. When we share our blessings with those who need to be blessed, then that gives them the moment to take a breath, step outside of the world that they may be trapped in and realize the true love and grace of Jesus Christ. And then they too, may be set free of the constraints that the world seems to have put on them as they live knowing of God's love. That's our witness, to meet the urgent needs of others and to do so with gentleness and humility. So go out today thinking in that way, knowing that, yep, there's some rules going on in the world around us that we disagree with, but as long as we're gentle, humble, and meeting the urgent needs of those who have those needs, then we will be faithfully witnessing to the love of Christ. Have a great day, everyone.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.